Thank you. Well, before I start, I must say, I really hate Facebook. Yeah. So, if you are in Facebook, well, I'll touch upon this later in the talk. But if you are in Facebook and you happen to come across me, don't take my posts or comments seriously. I'm really trying to fool a lot of people, including Mark Zuckerberg. Right, so this topic is about growth of organizations. And I, as a person with my academic background in certain domains, I'm really interested in about this topic, and I have focused about growth more than activism, how an organization works, and how the growth of an organization happens. So that is my own interest, whether I'm in a corporate or in a startup or in the movement. So literally 14 years of my time I spent on this topic, and I'm very passionate about this topic. So that's what today's talk is about. So we all know that we are for men's human rights, and we want more victories and bigger organizations and bigger movement, maybe in politics, and we want to influence, we want to make a change, and we know it may take decades or maybe 100 years or more. So that is the whole challenge is all about. So how can we grow faster in a more sustainable way, and how can we get bigger successes and bigger victories? What is the key to all this? So the good part in this is that we already have a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of knowledge on all these topics that we are passionate about. So we'll achieve bigger successes if we have bigger organizations. So it's as simple as that. If the organization is not there, just a group of individuals, we may not, our success will be slower. And how can we do that? How can we have bigger organizations and stronger collaborations? Now, if we can look at the challenges that are involved, then we can have a clue on what to do and what are we missing. And then we may grow 10 times, maybe 100 times, maybe we will grow faster. So we have a lot of knowledge. We know a lot of things. We have social media and the YouTube, and a lot of books are written. So we know about men's human rights issues pretty well. We know a lot. We know about feminism, and the campus politics. We have all the knowledge for last 100 years or maybe more. We know about the governments, what the governments do to men and women and children and everybody. They want us all to work and make the GDPs grow. Right, and we know the media, the mainstream media. So we have all this knowledge. But then what are we missing? Are we missing something? And if we can keep on exploring, if we are missing something in this whole picture, maybe we'll have a clue about how do we grow or get bigger victories. Most probably an inner journey is kind of missing because it's not something comfortable. It's not comfortable for me to question myself or look inwards or maybe question my own organizations. I will always claim that I'm right. I'm always right. I can never be wrong. And my team members will also do the same. They'll say, Anil doesn't know anything. I'm right. I have better ideas. So we know this very well. Know the enemy and know yourself. So we know the enemy or the surroundings, the feminists, the government, and everything. And we need to know ourselves if we really want to be victory and successes. So that is something a Chinese man told long back, maybe 2,000 years back. So we know about everybody, feminist, misandry, the statistics, the government's behavior. Yet, when we work as communities and teams, our knowledge of our inner organizational dynamics and the challenges is very limited. Our teams are often clueless about how to overcome the constraints and the handicaps in our organizations. We really do not focus on this. We think if we just do activism, that's enough. How do we do it or how we are structurally, that doesn't matter. So, are we focusing on ourselves, trying to learn more about our own self? So that's what we'll see. So that is what I'm saying from my experience inside the movement, and we have kept on experimenting with this kind of a approach. So if you know others and know yourself, you will not be losing 100 battles, you will be winning them. So our openness to know more about ourselves, the teams and the organizations can free us, can expand us. And an understanding and proper design of our value system and organizational culture is the key to our success and growth. So how much we understand how an organization is designed. For example, we want to create a new organization. So do we know the building blocks, what all are needed? And if we can put them together like a car, we can design an organization. And imagine my organization is going down, and if I know the design, it's like an old car, so I just take the parts apart, put it back together again in a certain way, and I can make it work again. Maybe it will be much better than what I've got previously, because I now have got some experience. So let's look at this. Organizations, groups, and individuals. We need to know the differences. Nowadays, a Facebook group is not an organization, or a WhatsApp group, which are like in India, we have like 1,000 WhatsApp groups of men's activists, and everybody claims we are an organization. They are not. A group, anybody can create a Facebook group, add 200 random people, and then say, we are doing something big. It's not going to happen. Of course, we have great individual contributors. We have authors and YouTubers, social commentators, and that's how we got a lot of knowledge. We already have all the, at an individual level, we are doing great, really great. I think we are beating the feminists in big way when we expose all their theories and the false statistics and everything. But an organization as a platform, we can achieve a lot more. There are a lot more things which are possible. And often it can happen that we may undermine the necessity of an organization because it's easy to play an individual game. It's easy, relatively, but then the easy way in usually leads out. Like the easier steps that we take, after a while it stops. So that's how the complex systems work. So we have to do what is necessary to do. We can't avoid them. There may be a lot of easy things to do. And we may achieve some success, but then that success is a trap. That success is a trap, so it keeps us there. Like, and somebody calls like South Indian monkey trap, so you're trapped. And then we miss the bigger things. And there are many challenges, but before that, it's very easy to underestimate the organizational efforts. So if somebody is running an organization, or there's a team of people running an organization, it is very easy to underestimate the organizational efforts or the skills of people involved in the organizational activity. Because the organizational activities may not be that glamorous. It may be a lot of paperwork or a lot of background work, which is not that comfortable or easy. And many people don't want to do it. It may not give you much attention, so the work that somebody is doing in the background to keep the organization intact. This is our experience. In 2016, we were in a very bad shape. So Indian men's movement, there are a lot of men's NGOs, organizations, but SIFF is one of the first ones, and we really did a lot of growth. We contributed to a lot of growth in 2014 till 2004 till 2012. We literally made the movement grow 100 times, and that is because of SIFF. So in a very organic way, we could grow using some of the things which I touch upon. But after a while, our organization said, fine, now we are on our own. We did the growth. Now a particular phase has come. The children are on their own. So we do what we want to do. So yet we had a very bad year in 2016. Our finances were crashing, and we were shrinking. Last year, we had no money to pay the rent. We have 2 men's community centers, and we don't have money to pay the rent. That's the kind of situation we had. So we have no choice but to radically alter ourselves. And it's not comfortable. We have to alter ourselves. We have to look into our own self individually at the level of organization. And we have to reinvent the entire organization, its values and culture. So that's what we took up on. And we made this whole thing turn around in less than 12 months. In less than 12 months. We are in great shape, so happy, so peaceful, and we feel so fulfilled. Just less than 12 months. So let's see what are the key things in this, key to this kind of a change. Well, again, I'm repeating the organization. Any organization can easily get stuck. That's the part of the growth process. Something grows, then it gets stuck. So how do we unstuck ourselves and grow again, maybe grow a lot more? Now, this is important. If we can look at the challenges, and this is in a very academic way, it's like some kind of a research. Let's understand academically, like if it's in a B school, what are the kind of things we'll talk about? The challenges, especially for a movement, not a company. A company works in a different way, a political party works in a different system, but then we are a movement, we are an activist platform, maybe we have support groups. So what are the challenges? One of the challenges is the challenge of people management. So organization means there are teams of people. Somebody is doing something in the organization, somebody is volunteering for something else, somebody is writing articles, somebody is managing finances, somebody is creating awareness. There are different teams of volunteers. Now, the biggest challenge which we can undermine easily is that there is a people management, which is an overhead. It's not activism, it's not about supporting men or saving a man from committing suicide, it's an overhead. Like we have to manage the people, the interpersonal dynamics and people's own factors. And now here is the problem. As the organization grows, it's easy to grow, you can make it grow, but then the people management challenges will grow exponentially higher. Okay, so when we grew this organization from 2004 till 2009, we grew something like 50 or 100 times. The people management overheads increased to such an extent that the key people, the greatest contributors, the great contributors, they have to just do this, people management, then they're doing nothing else. Like you have a huge situation there. The other thing is the expectation management. When there are teams of people and they're activists, they want to do things, they're very passionate about what they want to do, so they will have a lot of expectations from each other and also the people who are running the organization. They will say, why don't we have one more protest or one more event? Why don't we do it in a bigger way? See, they are doing, feminists are doing, and some right wing and the left wing, they have all done it. Why don't we do that? Now, you keep answering them, and then they may not be satisfied. They have all kinds of expectations. So these are the challenges which will come and which are very much there. So this can make running an organization and the teams a very uncomfortable experience. And it's, of course, it's not comfortable. If you want comfort, you should not be running an organization. But it's good. It's good, and end of the day, you feel good. Yes, so there are a lot of things we have our internal conversations. We all say we all want growth. We are open for growth. We are open for great ideas. We have a lot of ideas. However, by default, this is what I've learned after a long time, like all these years, that we all are not agents of growth. We don't create growth. Our attitudes and behavior is not oriented towards growth. So we say we want growth, but we'll do kind of everything to stop growth. Okay? So that's the challenge. And why it happens? Because the organizations are complex. And when there is a complexity, it can create lot of vicious circles and lot of interconnections. So it can show a very counterintuitive kind of a behavior. You try something and it happens in the opposite way. And our understanding, we human beings do not really have an understanding of how to deal with complex systems unless somebody is a mathematician or somebody really specializes on it, how the complex systems work. So teams often resist efforts to bring organizational change. So teams will be debating like why there is no growth, but when somebody tries to take an action or recommend something that this is what is to be done, they will do everything literally, they will fight to ensure that everything remains stable, there's no change. So the growth doesn't happen. It is easy to get deceived because there is an inherent complexity involved. The values of an organization, the values are very critical, and the values of an organization can degrade over a period of time. Or as you are growing, say we are in Bangalore or Delhi or a couple of cities and we grow to 20 more cities, but the new cities, the people in the new cities, they may not share the same values that we shared 2, 3, 4 years back, and we may not have time to educate about that. So they may degrade, and over a period of time, we can forget. The other part, it can happen that we can rigidly hold on to some value, which made a lot of sense, maybe 10 years back when there was no Facebook, no Twitter, but today, that particular approach or a value or thinking most probably is counterproductive, but then we are holding on, we said that. Why do we contradict now? We should be consistent. So that is how people won't recognize the change that is needed. For example, the Facebook disrupted our movement in a big way. Our movement, the way it is in India, Facebook is a challenge. I'm there in Facebook. A lot of men's activists are there in Facebook. Our videos and our awareness campaigns are doing great, but that is not good for organization. It's good for marketing. It's good to reach out to people, but it has weakened the organization. So we have to do something different structurally to deal with that. We have to also understand that in a complex system, we can easily get out of touch with reality. And then we can start assuming things and going totally in a different direction from the direction of growth or what is our real purpose. There are two places in life we can stand. One platform is I know, the other platform is I don't know. And you know where most people stand. I know. And I'm scared of guys who work with me with 2 or more years of experience. I'm scared of them because they are activists for 2 or 3 years. They know a lot. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with them because they know so much. They don't want to stand in a place called I don't know. And our team in Delhi is new. Okay? Our team, when we reinvented, our team in Delhi is relatively new. They don't know. They will say, I don't know. And they're really, really growing. They're really growing because they don't know. Yeah, they're in that, so they're really growing. They're experimenting and they are feeling good and they're feeling passionate. But then the other guys who are very much there for a couple of years, they're like, I know, this can't be done, that is done, this works, that doesn't work. Fine. So almost always we find people who are full of opinions. Most of these opinions are not functions of experience or experimentation. It's just an abstract kind of an opinion that you can read somewhere or understand somewhere, try to talk about it, and then the other people pick up those opinions and then they build their own set of opinions. And then it is just a bunch of opinions happening, not something on the ground. We can have an opinion about activism or different kinds of activism, but that's not activism. So this I know thing can lead to a lot of opinions, overconfidence, and a continuous commentary. We can be commenting about what went well for this campaign, what did not go well. So a lot of guys can sit in Facebook and they can talk about a lot of stuff. They may not do absolutely anything. They won't even turn up at an activism rally or anything you really don't know, but then they have an opinion. So the experiences are real. The opinions are not real. That's not reality. And today, the world is changing so fast with so much of complexity. One can just be in a different world, which we think it's real, but it's not real. So, how fast we connect back to reality is what is the key to our success. If we are connecting to the reality that this is what is going on, we have a much, much higher chance of success. For example, let's look at a charitable organization, charitable men's organization. I refer, like, say, let's talk about, say, a support group, men's support group, where men go, like we have a men's support group, men who are suicidal, sad, depressed, they have a false case, they have a marital problem, they have a child custody issue, they come to us. This is a support group. And I know that these support groups exist in these countries, like USA, UK, and Australia, and all these countries. And they existed since a long time, since 1990s, or maybe earlier. They always were there. So what happened? What happened that these support groups are there and still, what happened? So here is what is our experience, my experience. This kind of a support group can easily become a socialist organization. We don't know. We are fighting about socialism, feminism, and everything. But the support group can become a kind of a socialist organization. So the person who is doing all the work, hard work, he may get insulted, abused. He will be undermined, and somebody who is not doing anything. So there is an equity kind of a thing going on there, so the person's opinions are valued. So that's what kind of happens a lot in India. Literally, we're like somebody can behave like your entitled wife inside the group. And it's not easy to see until somebody shows you, look at this. What is going on here? Are you getting married here? Inside the organization? You are saying you escaped marriage there. But here you are into some kind of a socialist kind of a place where you don't reward the people who are performing, and there is a lot of importance to people who don't do. So all can be done in the name of unity and brotherhood. After all, we are brothers. Everybody is equal. And then soon this can degenerate into some kind of a socialist place. And then you know what happens. It can really lead to a lot of trouble, lot of stink. Yeah. So this can degenerate into low performance, ignorance, and darkness. Like it's like some kind of an illusion. Everything is in place, nothing works, and no one will see and acknowledge the issue. So we have to ensure in our organization that we don't get into a socialist place. So in our organization, we had a long time back, we had a value called there are no free lunches inside SIFF. If you're coming here taking help, you be a part of activism, it's your obligation. You can't say no. You have to contribute in some way. Maybe you help 10 more people. But then over a period of 7 or 8 or 9 years, people forgot. People just forget it. And then they say that, no, it's not. This value is not there. What we need is, because this entire topic is so complex, we need classrooms for education on values, culture, organizational management, and leadership. This is a very complicated topic, so we need that. So that's what we do nowadays in India. Since last 4, 5, 6 years, we are doing this. We conduct a class about leadership and activism and the process and the details for all the new guys and the old guys we see and we learn. So this is like very much an academic exercise. And in today's world, it can be done over a video conference to a group of, say, 20 or 30 people. This is very important. A typical men's activist, who is a senior level men's activist in India, gets trained for 3 to 4 years in activism. That is how you get the performance. So putting the systems and culture is critical. Structures and systems and culture is critical. We may have to borrow some of these systems from other fields and domains. Here is the thing, the coach. If we are planning an event or an activism or a campaign, why can't we have a coach? So here is the team which is planning and coordinating the entire activity, but then there's a coach. The coach can look into the whole game. And because the coach has the experience, the coach has played the game many, many times over years. The coach understands the patterns of behavior and the traps, what may happen. And the guys should be coachable. They should not say, who the hell are you? They should take the coaching for that 2 months, not whole life, maybe only 2 months, no harm. We can see. So this can be a way we bring in from another domain. Now, I talk about values. There are a lot of values, but I'm talking about gratitude as a value of life at an individual level and inside the organization. Let's feel grateful for somebody who has done something. And day in, day out, we can feel grateful about the person. In fact, in life, we can be grateful. We can be grateful about water and the air and the earth and the life and our parents and the society. Of course, the society is discriminating us. We agree, but we can still be grateful. A lot of things are not good. In fact, sometimes we go to the extent of saying that be grateful to your enemies. Yeah? So this value, as we get into our own life and inside the organization, it can help. The other way is we can take things for granted. Yes, the movement is there. You have done a lot of things. It's okay. That's there. I can take it for granted. And I say, what have you done? So this can be an important thing. So we have to look into ourselves that am I being grateful, or am I complaining, or am I taking the things for granted? Because whatever is there, the organization is there, or somebody is there to help or guide or coach. Now, we may say, I don't care, who the hell are you? I have better ideas, or, we need to take, it's all about activism, values are not important. Let's focus only on activism. As long as we get the activism, the values can go on their own way. It doesn't work that way. Any organization, the top companies, they are all around certain values. Men need clearly defined roles, values, and culture and the structures. They have to be told, the coach. It may be already happening, but it has to be specifically told. Men want things to be told to them with instructions and details. If we don't tell them, then we can't expect them to get it. It is important to codify it and tell them. And men are great as far as taking the coaching. Once there is an agreement that they are ready to be coached, it's their choice. They can say, I don't want to be coached. But once they say, I am ready to be coached, they will follow. And once men are following the rules and the structures, they really, really like it, because we are clarifying everything. This is a kind of a code, the pirate code, and it works. It works. So the organization is like a machine. It has different parts and structures and mechanisms. So if we capture all this in a classroom kind of a setup and provide guys with a 6 months or 1 year part-time learning kind of a course, and we share the experience of different organizations, people who have run the organizations, who have been part of different organizations, we bring that kind of an academic angle to what we do, we can really, really grow. And reinvention, it's all about looking backwards, each part of the organization, and we are completely reinventing, redesigning ourselves. So that's what can make us get out of the stagnation and grow again. Growing can be uncomfortable. It's not easy. And running an organization is not easy, it's not comfortable. But I can tell you that in the end of the day, when you sleep at night, you feel so much at peace. So much of at peace than a person who is gynocentric and all. I don't know. Like, it's really so great when you being connected to other human beings and in an organization. There can be ups and downs. There can be all kinds of dynamics going on. But I must say that it is uncomfortable, but at the same time, you can sleep peacefully at the end of the day. And you really would love, we really love the life that we have got, or the privilege of, being connected to other human beings. So if we are continuously growing inside, so if the organization is stuck, if my organization is stuck, the first thing I'll do is to look into my own self, and I say that, where am I stuck? where I'm not growing up, where I have not learned something in my own life or myself and my team. And then we can regenerate ourselves. So now I'll show some of the things, what we have done. I'm almost at the end of the presentation. So this is our men's community center in Delhi. Almost 40 people are coming, and then we have to open more days now because numbers are growing. So they have grown like 5 times in last 1 year. And we were at Delhi Marathon on IMD. So our guys were in Delhi creating awareness about International Men's Day, and the marathon, maybe around 20,000 people were running. And different feminist groups were there, other NGOs were there, and we were there. And somebody made a huge alimony currency note of 2 million rupees. So this is from the Delhi Marathon. Yeah, so. Yeah, so they can just stand and let the people, so people still ask, what is a red pill? Yeah. This is something we did. We intervened in a public interest petition at Supreme Court of India because the feminists wanted to strengthen the law again. And so we now countered the feminists at the Supreme Court at Delhi. And so this is pending. So we have this capability to go and fight at the level of Supreme Court of India. Now the media cannot ignore us. We are at that level. We got a candidate in Bangalore to stand in the election of the state assembly. So we campaigned for him, and in fact he got first, most votes in all among the 6 independent candidates. He came first. So he was the top independent candidate, and among 13 candidates he was 6th in the position. So we did better than 2 political parties and like another 5 or 6 independent candidates. So this is a campaign picture. So we reached out to 25,000 houses out of 70,000 houses. So that much we could reach with those flyers, and of course some online advertising. So that's what we did. Now we have announced to feminists that we will have 5 candidates in the Delhi election next year. So you deal with us now. And we have the capabilities. We will be able to do it the way we are growing now. Thank you.
My name is Mike. It's a truism, I think, it is often said that all change is painful, and consequently we tend not to change until the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of changing. That being the case, how would you compare the situation as you find it here in England in particular and in the West in general, and perhaps also in America and Australia, with the one that's in India, the situation that's obtaining in India? Are the points of comparison? What would you say they are? That's a really long question, I know, and impossible to answer in detail. But what would be your comments on that?
It's difficult to compare because the circumstances and the societies and the movement is different. Here, I think, lot more number of years, the amount of experience. This has happened for a very long time. In Western societies, 20, 30, or maybe 40 years. NCFM is so old. So the trajectories are different there and here. Here, there are a lot of books written in India. Nobody has literally written anything important, that significant. Right? Maybe we should write, but we have to wait a while. We should get some time. But I won't compare, because there are many things happening in West which we learn at the political sphere, the way you could connect with the anti-liberal forces, whether it is in United States or Canada or Europe. And so I won't compare. Maybe you are there much longer, so you may have to unlearn. That can be a bigger challenge. And our guys are younger, so they have less to unlearn. So that can be a challenge coming at you. But otherwise, I won't say. I think people are the same. Yeah.
The men's rights movement is quite diverse, and I wanted to ask how you found a common ground. Was it like a small common ground? Because some ideas are more extreme than others.
Yeah, this is an interesting question. Yeah. See, I think it's like we put some effort, and also we were somewhat lucky. When we started this group, Men's Save Indian Family Foundation, we were the people with internet access, software engineers or professionals and all. So somehow we were lucky, and we could bring in a value system pretty quickly before others. So we had a value system where we say, okay, we'll not feel about being a victim. So we coach people not to feel like a victim. You may go to prison, your children are taken away, but we have a process not to feel like a victim. So that was a big difference with other groups. The other groups will be like crying and being very sad. So often we say in this present moment, you are peaceful, you are happy, and you are free. Nobody has tied you, so it is all in the mind. So we created a value system around not having victimhood versus being empowered. So our value system, but for example, we had certain rules. We may not allow a lawyer to be on board and advising our people.
One more time.
We may not get a lawyer on board inside our core groups to advise people. So our own people who learn the law and advise them. Yeah. So these are certain rules and structures. We could get them pretty quickly in 1 year time, 2004 till 2005. So that's what created a huge momentum for us. And the other groups, we could either cannibalize or they just drifted apart because they are very much sad. They may have a name like Harassed Husbands Club or some such name which itself is not empowering, right? So we could catch on that value system and we can grow rapidly. However, after some 4 or 5 years time, we could not realize that we have become a kind of a socialist place. So Facebook is a socialist place, mostly. So in Facebook, anybody can create a group and then add people. So a socialist kind of a place is not good. So we ended up like that, lot of growth, but nobody is respecting each other, nobody is respecting experience or contribution and all that. And then you get the trolls, trying to fight with you. Yeah, so then you have the nastiness of it coming up, and Facebook enabled a lot of this. I hate Facebook. So right now our guys may be in Facebook, but they may do some things, but we have instructed them to be in the core. So we won't use Facebook for any team building. We won't do that. Yeah. And the other part of thing is like if you are talking about say MGTOW and other groups and other ideologies. We sometimes disassociate in a very peaceful way, and I think that's what is done here also. So, yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much, Anil. We're going to break now 15 minutes and be back at 5:45. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.